Hello and hi, my dear students. After understanding three important heat names: heat capacity, specific heat capacity, molar heat capacity. Now, today, using that knowledge, we are going to discuss one more small topic of thermodynamics. Yesterday, after going through the three heat capacities, our last part of discussion was relation between heat capacity at constant volume and at constant pressure. Okay, and why one was more than the other, for that also we discussed in brief, and we concluded the yesterday's our previous session. Today we are going to discuss theoretically, okay, because we are not going to do any experiments here. So we are going to discuss theoretically experimental determination of change in internal energy delta U and change in enthalpy delta H. Okay, so how it is done? So we'll discuss in brief these two. Okay, so I welcome you all for today's session on experimental determination of delta H and delta U. And for this, we need the help of us one more a small branch of chemistry that is known as what calorimetry. Okay, so calorimetry is the accurate and precise measurement of heat flow for chemical and physical processes. So how much heat flow is there in and out? That is the study of the branch of physical chemistry known as calorimetry. It operates under the law of conservation of energy. It is based on what principle? Energy is neither destroyed nor created. It is protected, it is maintained, it is conserved. Okay, whatever heat went inside, either it is used or it is there only. Okay, that is the main basic principle of the thermodynamics. Okay, right. So that is what heat loss equal to heat gained. And to study calorimetry, we use one device, and that device used to measure the absorption or release of this heat is called calorimeter. Okay, right. For the temperature, thermometer. Like that, for the calorimetry, we require calorimeter. Two main types of calorimeters we have to study in 11th class. One is a bomb calorimeter, other one is a constant pressure calorimeter. Why it is called as a bomb? Normally, bomb is what the one which will explode in a small volume. It is a compact, okay, where volume suddenly explodes and it gives a sound. That is called as a bomb. Like that, here we carry out the experiment and at a constant volume. Volume is not allowed to change. That's why it is called as what? It is a bomb where no change the volume, right? It can withstand because any pressure is there, no, that will withstand. So that's why it is called as the bomb. Okay, so and the calorimeter is called what? Bomb calorimeter to measure change in the water internal energy. That is, it is performed at constant volume. Other one is which is open cup like a coffee cup, right? Where the volume changes are there. So that's why it is done only at the constant atmospheric pressure or the constant pressure, right? Okay, one by one we study. First is what? Bomb calorimeter. Bomb calorimeter is used to measure the changes in system's internal energy delta U due to a reaction. The basic principle is a chemical reaction heats a quantity of water in an insulated container, which is called as a calorimeter. Okay, the reaction takes place inside a sealed container called as a bomb, and whatever energy change is there, that is noted using the thermometer. And this is the bomb calorimeter. Okay, so in short, I will explain. This is the bomb. See, steel bomb, very compact. Okay, and this is the calorimeter outside, the chocolate or red part. Okay, thermometer to note down the temperature. Here it is the water. Okay, and this is the device for supply of oxygen for the burning. And this is called stirrer, which will constantly rotate so that it is stirred properly to maintain the uniform temperature of the water. Okay, right. So before you start of the experiment, present temperature of the water is noted. Okay, using thermometer, in a separate observation book. Then here we have taken a small sample, and these are the electrodes. Okay, so they are called ignition wires. So it is ignited. When it is ignited, enormous amount of heat is given out. Okay, so that means it heats up the bomb. So heat is transferred here. Okay, to this only, because it is insulated. Okay, so it is not, matter is not going out. Okay, so only the heat is transferred to the water, that is noted here by the thermometer. So earlier temperature was noted, now temperature is noted after some time. Okay, that will give the difference in the temperature, that is the change in the internal energy. So by other requirements are also there. Okay, what you have to do here? So here, after knowing the change in the temperature, that is delta T. Okay, what happens? The heat evolved. This is the temperature of water in the calorimeter, which is noted very carefully with the help of what? The thermometer. It is here. Okay, right. So by knowing the heat capacity of the calorimeter, the amount of heat evolved in the reaction is calculated. Since the this reaction is carried at constant volume, so this will give a measure of what? Delta U, change in the internal energy. Okay, right. Now this is what uh, uh, experiment which is carried out at a constant pressure. So here, with the same condition, first what you will do, you will carry out at constant volume. Okay, then we will measure the delta U. So once you know the delta U, we will carry out at the water. By opening the lid, we carry out at the constant water pressure. Again, once again, it is noted delta U. So once you know the delta U, so please put the value in the delta U, in delta is equal to delta U plus RT, where R and T are constant. So delta U is already known. So you can calculate the delta H, change in the enthalpy. Okay, so this is very easy once you know the delta U. Okay, have an idea. So there's no experimental setup for this. Okay, right. Now, after understanding how delta H and delta U is measured in the laboratory, okay, now we'll go for the another part of the thermodynamics chapter, where we will calculate enthalpy change during the chemical reaction. Because in chemistry, we learn thermodynamics in chemistry as well as in physics. So in the physics, we deal in a separate way. Excuse me. And in the chemistry, we apply thermodynamics only for the chemical reactions. Okay. So how much energy things are taking place when the reactants are converting into the products, whether reaction is given out or heat is given out or heat is absorbed. So all these energy changes we learn, it all comes under the water, it all comes under the enthalpy change of a reaction, also known as reaction enthalpy, symbolically delta HR. What is delta H? Delta H is the change in enthalpy. This is change in enthalpy where? In the chemical reaction. Therefore, this is called reaction enthalpy. So this R stands for change in the enthalpy of a particular chemical reaction known as the reaction enthalpy, delta HR. Okay, right. So in a chemical reaction, reactants are converted into products and they are represented by general equation like this. This remark I should bring here. Okay, I forgot. So this remark is here only. Okay, so reactions are converted into the products. Now the enthalpy change accompanying a reaction is called reaction enthalpy of that particular reaction. So this is general reaction. Which reaction you are carried out, that reactions reaction enthalpy you have to calculate. Okay, right. The enthalpy change of a chemical reaction is denoted by delta HR. So how to calculate delta HR? It is calculated using the formula sum of the enthalpies of the products minus sum of the enthalpies of the reactants. So that will give the change in the enthalpy of a reaction or reaction enthalpy. So using the symbol summation of products enthalpy and the minus reactants enthalpy. So when now we will understand only theory part. When we start numericals, we'll use this formula. Okay, right. Now what we understood, reaction enthalpy. Okay, or change in enthalpy of a chemical reaction, delta HR. Now, if you carry out this reaction in any condition, by chance, if you carry out reaction under standard condition, What is standard condition? All the reactants and the products must be in the pure condition, 100% pure. If you carry out reaction by taking a some impure sample, no problem, by chance. That is called what? If you carry out the reaction under normal condition with a small amount of impurity, that is called as normal reaction enthalpy. But if you are carrying out the reaction in standard condition, like 298 Kelvin or 25 degrees centigrade or 1 bar pressure, all the chemicals are in the pure condition. Okay, and if you carry out such reactions under the standard condition, that time if you measure the change enthalpy of a reaction, that is called as what? Standard reaction enthalpy. Okay, right? It is denoted as delta HR naught. So delta HR is what? Reaction enthalpy under any condition. Delta HR naught means what? Reaction enthalpy in standard condition. Okay, right. Okay, only difference is what? Conditions. So 1 bar is the pressure you have to maintain. Room temperature you have to maintain 298, and all pure conditions. That time it is called what? Standard reaction enthalpy. One example is what? To convert 1 mole of water into 1 mole of water vapor, enthalpy change for the vaporization is 40.66 kilojoules per mole. Plus indicates we have to supply. Minus indicates energy is given out. Okay. In the reaction, if energy is given out, we use the minus symbol. If energy is supplied, we use the plus symbol. So plus or minus no connection to the mathematics here. So plus or minus indicates what? Energy given out and energy absorbed. Okay, that's all. Now let us learn some examples where when the phase transformation, state transformation means solid to the liquid, liquid to the gas, gas to solid. So all these interstate conversions, interphase conversions are known as what? Enthalpy change during the phase transformations. Okay, right. So enthalpy change during what? Physical change or phase transformation or phase transition where they are converting from solid to the liquid or liquid to the gas. They are called as what? Enthalpy change during the phase what? Transformations. So we will not discuss all, only we will discuss three. One is what? Fusion reaction. What is fusion? To melt. When the solid is melting, it is called fusion or melting. Okay. That time, what is enthalpy change? We will learn. Okay. The amount of heat required to melt 1 mole of solid substance into its liquid form, liquid state. That is called as what? Heat of fusion. Because you have taken 1 mole here, therefore this is called what? Molar enthalpy of fusion. You take 1 mole of any solid, please convert into 1 mole of its liquid state. How much energy changes are there? That is called enthalpy change, molar enthalpy change of a fusion reaction. Now, second type is what? Vaporization. When evaporation takes place, when the liquid starts boiling. Okay. So when the liquid starts boiling, vapors are formed. So there also you have to fix 1 mole only. When 1 mole of a particular liquid is taken, then heat it. So to convert completely 1 mole of that liquid into 1 mole of vapor, that is called what? Enthalpy of vaporization or molar enthalpy of vaporization. Okay. Normally it is done during the boiling point determination. Now, third one, enthalpy of sublimation. First, let us understand what is sublimation. Sublimation is direct conversion of solid to the gas or gas to the solid. Only some selected chemicals undergo this change. Examples are ammonium chloride, camphor, naphthalene, anthracene, okay, iodine. So all these are examples where we are converting directly from solid to the gas or vapor or gas to the solid. So to convert 1 mole of solid directly to the vapor state, how much energy changes are there? What is enthalpy change is there? That is called enthalpy of sublimation. Okay. So the enthalpy of sublimation or heat of sublimation is the heat required to change 1 mole of substance from solid state to gaseous state at a given combination of temperature and pressure. Usually standard temperature pressure. That is known as what? Enthalpy of sublimation. If it is carried out at the standard condition, it is called standard enthalpy of sublimation. Okay, right. This is an example for what? Enthalpy of sublimation, iodine to the iodine gas. How much is required? How much you got supply? 106 kilojoules for every 1 mole. Okay, right. Now this is the example for fusion. So solid is melting to the liquid. How much? 6.02 kilojoules per every mole of solid water, ice. The same way, heat of vaporization. Okay, so to convert 1 mole of liquid water into the gaseous water, we require 40.6 kilojoules of energy. Okay, so this is with examples we explained. Okay, so today we learnt what? Today we learnt how to conduct experiments to calculate the delta H and delta U using the calorimeter under the branch calorimetry of physical chemistry of the main chemistry. Then the second part is what? Second part is enthalpy change during the phase transformation. Only 3 examples. So today we'll wind up with this, and tomorrow we'll go to some other part of the thermodynamics, where again more and more on enthalpy we'll discuss. Till then, have a nice time and bye.